See, this is slasher killer material. Aneta visits Scilab, only to find Netto stuck in his own head and ends on busy helping Yuichiro finish the new PT model. And like so many prospective girlfriends in Japanese media, she doesn't like being ignored when she brought a wealth of homemade snacks. Because of course she'd be a no competence at cooking type of waifu. Curse you, Rumiko Takahashi, for popularizing that trope! Seriously, people, my personal annoyance at this trope is it actually is rather easy to make something simple and edible. Yes, there is an allowance for personal taste in making a concoction like this, but wow, does she need to work on, actually making it not look like a disaster? I don't know, maybe because my personal favorite hobby is making things, I might have a higher expectation towards that than others. It's a really messy sandwich. Regardless, Aneta gives them both a chance to express the helplessness they're feeling. Yes, Enzan can use the battleship gate, but neither of them know when the next Dark Lord attack's going to happen. And with no special skills beyond his superb operating ability, well, Netto's feeling useless and unable to help resolve the situation without Rockman. And that's not exactly something he can change. As I've said before, Netto's the badass normal of the group. He's not a super genius or in possession of a special talent. Hell, the anime actually started him at more of a disadvantage than the other versions of him. What he's good at are all skills he's spent time to develop, and none of them are going to help if Rockman's not, accessible. But even then, Netto has to catch himself when he realizes who he is talking to, and remember what happened to Aneta's own Navi, and the object lesson she herself is providing to both of them in still trying to do what she can to help, even in a situation where no skill she has can directly assist in resolving the crisis. Again, for the anime incarnation, Aneta is top tier. Still, the Dark Lords going silent like this is not a good sign, meaning they're likely planning something big. And that's seen as Coldman and Swordman try to attack energy centers again in hopes of severing power to Scilab.
お前たちの好きにはさせないダークロイド
まんまとかかったなネット警察この攻撃はあくまで作戦の第一段階陽動に過ぎん
You didn't really need to tell us that, Regal. We're well aware of your methodology to use distraction tactics to hide the focus of your actual goals. Phase 2 is, of course, sending Dark Blues in via dimension areas to go after Scilab directly to physically destroy the new device. At the same time, Yuichiro is explaining the new capabilities of it and how it was specifically designed to optimize the compatibility of synchrochips. But despite the device being ready to go, not every part of it is online yet due to an extended initialization sequence checking for any problems, meaning when the area forms and Blues enters the picture, to save their last chance to fight back, Aneta, who is closest to it, grabs the device and runs. While Enzan tries to use Scilab's internal security to give Aneta a chance to escape and circle back to them, Blues just too easily cuts through all the barricades, and in her panic, accidentally gives away where she was trying to hide. Enzan managed to use the ventilation system corridors to pull her out of sight, but Blues quickly picks up the trail again. Though with them trapped inside the dimensional area's dome, this is where Enzan realizes, hey, if a dimension area traps us in, and everyone outside of it, shouldn't that also work inside another dimension area? I don't know. If you try layering too many dimensions atop one another in the same active space, then you either end up warped to Beyondard or collapse them all into an amalgam universe. Fun fact, the latter is actually the overarching plot of Super Robot Wars Z, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3 for that matter. But with this train of thought in his head, Enzan literally walks Dark Blues into the chamber Yuichiro used for his own dimensional area experiments before turning the contraption on, which does work to cage him in and prevent him from following. For that is Blues' Achilles heel. He's perfect for carrying out orders given to him, but as he's never been a free-thinking Navi, he's not very smart in outwitting other people. This is why he's a great enforcer, and in this case slasher villain, but can so easily be tricked as has happened here this entire episode. Play with your food for long enough, and you'll only end up prey yourself. The problem is, Blues has backup from Starman, who has also been realized and was just biding his time. Regal knowing that they could easily outwit Blues as he is. Fortunately, Netto shows up at this point, having had to take the hard way down, with Netto handing over his new PT, and allowing him to finally counter them on their own level. And the difference in presented stats is massive. Starman's cosmic power actually completely ineffective. With all the stat improvements, it's almost as if they installed Hub Batch in the Navi customizer. But while Starman's instantly deleted, Blues gets free, and promises revenge! So while progress has been made, the Darkblade threat is far from over. Though at least with Aneta entering the cast more properly, we do have someone around to pop Enzan's ego bubble anytime he tries to act all cool and aloof, as he tries to here.
Netto 警察から応援要請が来てるよ。よし、行くか、ロックマン。うん、じゃあ行ってくるぜ。アネタ、エンザン。頑張ってね、ネット。
The wrap-up. We have slasher villain story to Dark Blues throughout this episode. We have 11th hour upgrade to the advanced PT2 and its significant augmentation of Netto and Rockman's cross-fused abilities. No big suit change, yet, that's next season, but you don't always need a new suit to show off a stat difference. This episode is much better than you'd think it might be on recap, simply because of the way Dark Blues talks and attacks everyone this episode. Without anyone possessing the ability to fight back here, you get a lot of tension presented as he's gone full slasher killer, with the cast having to play keep away with him until the PT2 is ready to use. Hell, while I skipped over it, there's a scene where he slowly stomps over to Enzan and Aneta as they try to use an elevator to get away from him. And while you might ask yourself, why isn't he running? Well, the answer is clear. They don't have anywhere to run to. Dark Blues spends the majority of the episode screwing with them, and playing pretend that they have a chance to get away, only for them to still be trapped in the dome while he can attack them simply at his leisure. That is insidious, sadistic, menacing, and damn effective, which is only subverted by the main cast using that predatory and sadistic arrogance to their advantage and turning the table on him. It's really the big highlight of it all, showing that you don't always need some huge complicated mess to keep people engaged, but just a simple story of survival that'll keep viewers on the edge of their seats as we've been made to care about those going through these trials. The worst thing a writer can do is make an audience not care about the crisis of the individuals involved. That's one of the myriad reasons I've critiqued so harshly several of the episodes that hold the season back. They make me not care to watch anymore if I weren't reviewing the show. Here though, because of what's been built up beforehand with these characters, you do, and it's another big point in the season's overall favor.